Okay, here we go. Pressure's on. What do you have for us here, Al?
You just take it easy.
Mystery callers. Plural.
Hello, mystery callers. Okay, you're fuzzed out. Make sure you disguise your voice. Matty V has no idea. So go ahead, Matt. You could go left or right.
Make sure you hold that phone close to you so we can hear you.
Okay, well, they're not on the phone, Harold. Harold, you want to say good morning?
What's happening, brother? How you doing?
What's happening, buddies? How you doing? I'm gonna ask you a series of questions here to try to figure out who's on with us. I guess you can. Well, I'll just say mystery caller wearing the cap. Are you a Major League Baseball player?
Yes.
Okay. That
narrows it down
not
about
helpful at all. I was hoping for a no. Mystery caller in the cap. Do you play on a National League team or an American League team?
American League.
Let's start narrowing it down more. Are you an American League East, Central, or Western Division player?
East.
AL East. Are you guys teammates? Either one of you?
No.
Not teammates. All right. Mystery caller not wearing the cap. Assuming you play as well. Are you an American leaguer or a National leaguer?
American League.
Is one of these guys your son?
Ask him.
Wait a minute. Are both of you related to Al Leiter?
No.
Oh, man. I was hoping it was Mark Jr. and Jack. Can I guess that? Is it Mark Jr. and Jack?
Well, you got one right.
50%.
All right, Jack.
I got Jack.
But who's the other guy?
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
We're doing great.
Let's get the other guy.
Not Mark Jr.?
No.
Not related to you.
AL East.
AL East.
Big leaguer.
I mean, there's a
Future stud.
few hundred guys there. Gunnar Henderson? Is it Gunnar?
No, he is
a stud already.
Much closer and is a same position. Big highlights. Most recent games that we watch in Major League Baseball.
We're talking about the World Series?
Yes.
American leaguer?
Yes.
Yankee?
Yes.
Anthony Volpe.
Hey!
God, that took way too long. That was
honestly,
embarrassing by myself.
you know what? He was saying I don't do well. I'm like,
I suck at this.
I said, Matt, if you know right away, like just play along. So
I wasn't sandbagging it.
Hello, Jack. Hi, Anthony.
Hey, how's it
What's
going?
up?
Thanks for
I was
calling
thinking
in,
about
guys.
lying on all those questions.
What'd you say?
I was thinking about lying on all the questions.
I said disguise your voice.
Hey, you guys have known each other for a long time. Take me back to the first time you guys met, and it, if it's something that we would remember as well, or was this, high school, amateur? When did you guys first become familiar with one another?
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, I think we were familiar with each other on the just like the local New Jersey kind of travel baseball circuit. And then we really got to know each other going into freshman year at Del Barton when we knew we were going to be teammates. And we would go back and forth talking about how excited we were for high school. And it definitely, in my opinion, lived up to the hype and the expectations, because I think our time there was awesome.
Anthony, you going to give the story when your dad was playing stickball with you at 93rd and Lex?
Yeah, well, he said the story I remember, but I think my dad remembers that one a lot more than probably all the guys on this call. But yeah, he says that we were playing in the city and just me and him, and then like it went, at least the way that I remember in the city, it just started me and my dad, and then before long we had a full 9-on-9 game. And he said that Jack was playing the outfield and he started to play with us, and then you, Mr. Leiter, came down and started throwing to us. So he obviously remembers that experience and getting to meet you guys, and then years later. Because
both of you guys you guys are both so not so far removed from your prep days, and you remember them so well. Do you think the experience for, like, say, kids playing at Del Barton or kids playing at a high school level now are the same experiences that you have, or have things changed that quickly to where now high school baseball is different than it was just 5-ish years ago?
Jack?
I would say it's different because I think the whole college recruiting thing has changed drastically. With now there's the whole NIL deal, and it's almost like free agency for high school. It's kind of become the Wild West, I think. But I think there's a lot of opportunities for high schoolers now, and there always were, but even more now.
I'll interject, Anthony. So if it wasn't the New York Yankees drafting you in 2009 with the first round pick, Anthony Volpe, would you have been Jack's teammate at Vanderbilt?
No, I mean, I had two amazing options. And I mean, we talked about it all the time. I was dead set on going to Vandy and trying to win a national championship and be teammates with Jack. But I don't know if what would have happened or what could have happened, but I think everything definitely happens for a reason. And but like I said, I mean, win-win. It was a win-win all the way.
Hey, Anthony, I want to follow up with you on the World Series experience, because if it's hard for a kid from the area to kind of tune out the noise playing for the hometown team that happens to be the Yankees, how much harder was it in the World Series? I'm sure your friends knew better than to ask you for tickets and bug you for that 10-day stretch. But was it difficult to tune out the noise during the series this year?
Honestly, no. I mean, it's my second year, but playing kind of throughout the system and learning from different guys, I don't think you can make it 162 games without being able to tune out the noise here in the city with everything going on. So I feel like that was probably the easiest part, just because we're so used to that. And by the end of the season, I mean, everyone's so locked in that the people that you care about and the people that matter, they completely understand. And the tickets were the easiest part. I mean, I haven't put down one ticket my whole career. My mom's got that handled.
Yes.
So anyone that knows me knows to ask for tickets, they know to go through my mom.
All right, so Anthony, you're an amazing person. You come from an amazing family. You're super measured. But I can't say this enough, Matt, that we have multiple major leaguers talk about that they were a fan of a respective club. This goes back. This is in his soul, with his grandparents, his parents, Isabel and Michael, Poppy, his grandfather. He is at birth. There's no sugarcoating here. This guy is an absolute Yankee fan. From when you were I know your mom, sent something out with those. Look at this. Look at little Ant in front here. With his mom behind him, his left side.
It's incredible.
Family members, big time family member, great family. Anthony, I know you're being cool. You got to be there with Derek, and then later after you hit the grand slam. Come on. Look at this.
That's awesome.
Honestly, this is pinch yourself stuff, Ant.
Yeah, well, thank you for all that before. But I mean, since the season's ended and kind of going through all the emotions and kind of be able to take a step back and take in, and really everything that happened kind of has been starting to register. So, like you said, I mean, just super surreal and an amazing year. And at the same
Boom!
time,
Grand Salami, New York Yankees World Series. Come on, kid.
I know. Yeah. No, it's just so motivating the way everything went down, and everyone just ready to get back.
Hey, Jack, speaking of World Series memories, I know, and correct me if I'm wrong here, if I got the wrong time date stamp, but you were born the year that your dad pitched in the World Series against the Yankees.
Yes.
Is that right? The Subway Series, the year of your birth? So you obviously have no memory of that. What is the first memory of yours of your dad's career? What team was he with? Was he already done?
I mean, definitely a lot of memories. Fortunate enough to be around the game through MLB Network, going to World Series and All-Star games and whatnot. But from his playing career, the one that I remember, because it was probably a little traumatic at the time, was Dontrelle Willis holding me above a trash can and shaking me, and I think I started crying at the time, 4-year-old or 5-year-old me, and that one stuck with me. But I remember Dontrelle Willis being awesome.
Do you remember where it was? It was team. Timeout. We'll put some context. It was WBC.
Okay.
06. We're in Cal State Fullerton. We're having practice, Jack. And Dontrelle was awesome. Dontrelle is awesome. Just so playful. And we lived in Florida, so Jack actually liked the Marlins, at the end of my career and then after. And Dontrell picks up playfully. And so he's going to put Jack in the garbage can. While we were practicing before the start of the WBC, Jack, Team USA.
Yeah, that rings the bell now. And Ken Griffey hitting batting practice with the metal bat. I remember that one
About
too.
600 feet. Remember those center field at Cal State Fullerton? Hey, real quick,
Crazy.
I want to mention this. Team USA, that roster, Jack and Anthony, we'll find out in 20 years from now. It was an amazing U18 team, Pan-American. They went down to Panama and won the gold. And Team USA, right? Who wants to chime in on that roster? By the way, I'll just throw it out there. Oh, look at this. There's Michael Volpe with the aunt and Jack and I. And then there's Bobby Witt and his father.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Tell us about the experience for you guys down there in Panama.
I mean, yeah, I could start. Yeah, that team was ridiculous. And especially as a pitcher on that team, it was nice because we were putting up about 20 runs a game. Since then, I think, and it was only 5 years ago now, but I think basically the whole lineup's in the big leagues, and a lot of them doing it at a really high level. So that was one of my most memorable baseball experiences.
Ant?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, we came back home. We missed like a month of school, and I remember Coach Chattel and all the rest of the teachers kind of giving us a hard time because we beat. They were like, "Who are you guys playing over there?" Like little league teams, but because it was like 20-0 every single game. But I remember the competition being really good, and then, I mean, it's just crazy about baseball. I remember us playing cards, and our room was like, Jack and I were roommates, and our room was like the room that everyone hung out in. We played cards. We got Dairy Queen smoothies that Mr. Leiter and my parents would bring to everybody, stuff like that. So I think just those memories and those bonds you make with obviously the team and the roster we had, and then being able to follow everyone throughout the rest of their careers. And then I think the coolest part is playing and seeing everyone at the highest level.
Very cool. So, Jack, obviously, you've been up for a couple years now, 2 years in the big leagues. Jack gets called up. Take us through facing Jack, that first at bat. Little right center piece, first pitch heater. Jack, keep the ball down, son. Ant?
Yeah, I was definitely, everyone was juiced up for that game, and it was funny. Like, the whole team was in on it, and they had me like running the hitters meeting. I was like, I don't know. We hadn't faced each other in a couple of years. I watched the same video as you guys. But no, it was it was an amazing experience. Obviously, Jack's stuff looks incredible. It looks better every time I see him. But we were extra prepared for that game.
Jack, is that how you saw it?
Yeah. I was hoping to get ahead that first pitch. Maybe he would take me one, but he jumped on it. And then the next at bat was even scarier. That was eerily similar pitch to the grand slam he hit in the World Series, a little hanging slider. And fortunately, it didn't get out because 2 for 2 would have been a tough one to swallow.
With a Jack, you're right.
Hey, Jack, they say that for a parent watching his kid play pro sports, it's really a hard thing. You know what's harder? Is for us who are friends with your dad, watching him watch you is harder, I think, than him watching you.
That's impossible.
You squirm around so much. I mean, the camera always finds you when you're out there for one of Jack's games, one of his appearances, and you and your wife, of course, proud parents. I can't imagine the thrill that this is. I also know that you're not there we go. I also know that you're not like a helicopter little league dad that's going to call and text and get in Jack's ear at every
I know
turn.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
Matty, it's hard. I can't explain it. You're right. I'd much rather have played. I obviously got opportunities in World Series, but to watch your kid, you love him, you give him your heart. It comes from that place, but it's hard. I'll be honest. It's hard to.
What are the experiences like, Jack, post start? Like, I know you do confer with your dad sometimes, even though he's not trying to bother you during the season. Are those conversations from you? Hey, Dad, what did I do wrong? Is it about like your head or your mechanics or a combination of all of it?
I think it's any pitching conversation. It's a combination of so many things, but I always tell people my dad has done an unbelievable job of just being a dad throughout my whole process of growing up in baseball. I have so many teammates whose dads, did nothing in baseball, and they're yelling at them after their games. And my dad's never done anything like that. He actually goes the other way. After a bad outing, he'll send me his worst outing when he, walked 7 guys and didn't get out of the second. And it's like, hopefully you have a lot more of these, because it means you pitched a long time, because the bad ones they're inevitable in this game.
That's
so
good.
Jack, he started getting mad at me. Like, if it was something where I felt like he needed a little hug, I'd send him something like emotion. He's like, "Stop doing that. Like, I don't like that." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
So, hey, lay out the offseason for you guys. Anthony, let's start with you. A shorter offseason than most, haven't played all the way through the World Series. I want to know what your fall's going to look like. I mean, I'm sure you're still working out and doing your baseball stuff, but tell us about the next 6 or so weeks of your life.
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, we just finished a little over a week ago. But yeah, back into it, and then hit it hard here at the stadium in New York for December, and then back in Tampa right after the New Year's with everybody else. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, we're 3 games away, but we couldn't be more motivated, ready to go. So, truncated, shorter off seasons, no excuse for sure. And I feel like we know what we need to work on, and yeah, we're going to get right back to it.
So you're at the stadium then. I mean, as a Northeasterner, you're here. You can work out at the stadium. How many actual Yankee players work out at the stadium this time of year? Because I know everybody's in different parts of the world.
I mean, I guess we'll see. Everyone kind of comes in and out of the city, but they redid our whole setup there, so it's gonna be really good, and I'm excited to get back there. I'll go right after Thanksgiving. I'll start going into the stadium, but yeah, the setup's insane.
That's great. Jack, what about you? What's the next 6 weeks look like for you? When do you take a break from throwing?
Yeah, that's a kind of I guess a controversial topic in pitching, is how long to take off throwing. Guys are taking less and less time, but my dad, being my dad, and more old school, he wants me to take some time off. So I took a little bit. I took probably 3 to 4 weeks off throwing, and then just start moving the arm again. And so I've started throwing now, and lifting. Now's the time to kind of get your body in the position that you want it to be in for the season. And that's the most exciting part, I think, where you make the most improvements. So I'm working out. I'm in Nashville right now, and I'm working out at Vanderbilt, and we have a really good setup, and a ton of pro guys are in and out every morning. So a lot of smart minds to bounce ideas off of, which is really cool.
So I'll throw this out. What kind of goals you got set this year? I'll start with you, Anthony. Obviously, you're going into your 3rd year as a major league player. How do you set your goals? What are your goals?
Yeah, I mean, first and the only thing is we want to win. We're 3 games away, and just getting that taste of what it's like, and obviously the taste of defeat. Never been more motivated and
what are you specifically? You're the ultimate team guy. It's about winning. But you specifically, is there something you look at your season, as we all do, and say, I'd like to work on X. I'd like to be a little better at this. I want to, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just, I feel like when I'm in control of myself and doing what I feel like I need to do, whether that's in the box or the field, I feel like that's a different player than the player that, I mean, it's a long season and you go through ups and downs, but I want to work on my consistency and of the things I can control, whether that's the load of my swing or swinging at pitches I can handle and drive. And I feel like when I'm locked in and doing that, I want to continue doing that. So instead of going a couple weeks hot and then not being in control of myself, that's what I want to do.
It's mental. But you guys, when you figure it out, it's more mental than physical. How about you, Jack?
Yeah, it's definitely taking a more process-oriented goal, I think. As great as it would be to say, I want to win this many games or have an ERA below this number, a lot of that is sometimes out of your control. So I think just continue to become more complete of a pitcher. Throw any pitch in any count, command it well, and compete my butt off and work hard and hopefully help the Rangers back to where they were, not this year but the year before. So I think that's the only goal.
Hey, we really appreciate you guys taking a little time out of your morning to call in and join us. A lot of fun for us to visit with both of you. Jack, you really didn't have a choice, let's face it. You
Thank you, Anthony.
had to do this. But, Anthony, thank you. Thank you both. This is really cool to have you both on.
And you too, Jack.
We love watching you guys play.
How many eggs did you have this morning?
5 every morning.
5! Good thing you're not at home. I'd have to keep buying eggs.
Good to be
How about
gone.
you, Anthony?
Not 5, but 3.
Good to be gone.
Yeah, it's shortstop, baby.
Kill 5 eggs.
Thank you, guys. I love you.
Good job, guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.